One thing we all know about Rose is that she gets around, as throughout her time in SML, Rose has been in several relationships with different guys. And today, we're going over all of her ex-boyfriends that she's had, from the most tame relationships to the ones that should be grounds for Marvin divorcing her. And there's no better place to start than with D Money. In SML movie Rosalina's ex-boyfriend, we would see Mario and Rosalina talking about stars, until she suddenly gets a text from a guy named D Money. Mario asks who he is, and Rosalina tells him that he is her ex-boyfriend, and that he wants to come over to catch up with her. D Money then comes over to the house, and we find out that he's a famous boxer, and he has a interesting relationship with Rosalina, calling her a hoe and being erratic, punching Mario whenever he answers the door, leaving Mario feeling a little intimidated. But to be fair, I think D Money's got one thing right, that Rose is a hoe. Mario doesn't hide his true feelings when D Money and Mario end up talking later, and Mario ends up thinking that D Money is trying to take Rosalina back from him. Mario tells Black Yoshi about his concerns, and they team up to train to fight against D Money. Mario gets ready to fight, but when he does, he gets absolutely obliterated, getting a black eye and a bruised face. After this, D Money realizes that Mario actually loves Rosalina, and eventually just gives up and lets Mario win against him, giving him more confidence and growing his relationship with Rosalina.
Oh no! My blind side's left wide open! I hope nobody hits my blind side! Oh, don't do it! Oh, for the record, I'm still undefeated! This is just a pity fight!
Mario, you did it! You did it!
Damn, Mario, man, you knocked him out!
Rosalina clearly has a thing for boxers, as the next ex-boyfriend we see of hers is Candy Randy, who we meet in SML movie Brooklyn Guy's Big Fight. In this video, we see Brooklyn Guy come over and talk about his high school bully, Candy Randy. We see Brooklyn Guy tell a Nintendo animation about how Randy sold candy to Brooklyn Guy, but how they ran into problems with each other, leading to a fight between the two of them. Marvin tells Brooklyn Guy to get over everything and buy candy again at the reunion, but he ends up getting beat up. Rose then takes the golden opportunity to tell everybody that she and Candy Randy dated each other a long time ago, and this leads Marvin to tell Brooklyn Guy to invite Randy over, where Randy takes the opportunity to go into excruciating detail, implying what his and Rose's relationship was like.
Oh shit, is that Rosebud?
Hey, Randy.
Hey! You trying to get another taste of this pixie stick?
No, Randy, I'm married now.
Oh, well, that's a shame, because you just want a golden ticket to the white chocolate factory. You trying to see my Willy Wonka?
Brooklyn Guy trains to fight Randy, but gives up on that and tries to poison Randy instead. But he ends up accidentally poisoning himself. He and Marvin try to work together to beat Randy, but they both end up getting beat up together, giving up after that and moving on from the situation. One of Rose's often forgotten relationships that we know of is her relationship that she's had with our resident SML stoned character, that being Crush. We meet Crush for the first time in SML movie Jeffy and Junior's Hotel. In this video, we see Junior and Jeffy get left home alone for the night, and as soon as their parents leave, we see them go to the door and meet this crazy dude who sounds like he's having a good time on some devil's lettuce named Crush. Crush is looking for a hotel to stay the night, but he only has $160. This is when Junior comes up with the genius idea to let Crush stay for the night. This idea works out great, as more and more people keep coming to stay the night at the hotel, like Barbara, Simmons, and Craig, with Craig joining Crush to have a great time hotboxing in their room. Eventually, after a while, Rose, Marvin, and Braxton come back to see the crazy mess that Junior and Jeffy created. They go to stop everything going on, and then Rose recognizes Crush, with him making it very clear the relationship they had in the past.
Crush?
Oh, zero gag reflex chick, what's up?
Stop.
That's a hell of a nickname.
What, you know him?
Yeah, we met at a festival once. We shared a tent.
Yeah, we did.
Jeffy got the opportunity to meet another one of Rose's exes when he met Brad after he almost drowned. In SML movie, Jeffy almost drowns. The video starts out with Rose deciding that they should go to the beach, so they all head that way. When they get there, Marvin and Rose chill out in the sand, while Jeffy decides to swim in the ocean. However, as a shock to really nobody, Jeffy doesn't know how to swim and almost drowns, but a random surfer-looking guy named Brad comes out and saves Jeffy from drowning. Brad takes Jeffy over to Marvin and Rose instantly recognizes Brad, remembering that they dated a long time ago, with Brad once again going into a lot of detail of what kind of person Rose is. And I think it's gotten to the point where we know a little too much about Rose.
Hey, what's up, man? My name's Brad, with a big D at the end, because when a girl goes on a date with me, that's what she gets at the end, a big D.
After this, Rose gets the idea to thank Brad by inviting him over to dinner, but Marvin doesn't like this idea, so he works with Chef Pee-Pee to sabotage the dinner, so Brad never wants to come back ever again. This idea goes terrible, however, as Brad passes out and Chef Pee-Pee checks his pulse, but doesn't feel one, so they think that Brad is dead. They both start freaking out, trying to figure out what to do, with them coming up with the idea that they could possibly dissolve his body in acid. This idea is about to work, but it stopped when Brooklyn Guy comes in as a cop to the door wondering about Brad. Brooklyn Guy catches them, but he reveals that Brad isn't dead, and he just has a mild shellfish allergy instead, letting Brad get away. Speaking of another character that was almost dead, we have a similar situation in another one of Rose's previous relationships, that being her relationship with Shrek. In SML movie Shrek's Coma, we see Shrek stack up 15 cheesecakes with the plan to eat all of them in one sitting. But this idea turns out to be a terrible one when it sends him into the hospital and puts him in a coma. Brooklyn Guy then tells Mario that he has no chance of getting out of the coma quickly unless a brain dead person comes and they do a transplant. Right on cue after that, a body comes in and they do the brain transplant, leaving Shrek with a new body that Rosalina is strangely very attached to. Mario notices this, and he starts to become a little bit jealous of everything, eventually leading to a big fight between the two of them. Mario tries to rant to Black Yoshi about how he's feeling about the whole thing, but Rosalina comes back to the house, and Mario finds out that she's not there to apologize, but is actually there to go on a date with Shrek instead.
Hi, Mario.
Hey, I'm so glad you're here. I was just about to call you so you could come
Mario,
over.
I can't talk right now. I have a date.
A date? With who?
With Shrek.
Shrek?
Oh, hey, sexy lady.
Rosalina tries to have a good time with Shrek until she realizes that he's absolutely disgusting and is more or less uninterested in her. Mario comes in, tempting Shrek to have even more cheesecake, and all of this causes him to fall right back into a coma again, returning him to his old body. This being the end of his relationship with Rose. The next one of Rosalina's exes we have to talk about is Dat, who we meet in SML movie The Super Bowl Problem. In this video, we see Junior and Chef Pee-Pee arguing about food until they're interrupted by someone at the door. The person at the door turns out to be Tom frickin' Brady, and Junior brings him to talk to Chef Pee-Pee, but Chef Pee-Pee is mad at Junior for talking back again, and throws a rolling pin at Junior, but it hits Tom Brady instead, knocking him out. They both freak out as they're not sure who's gonna play in the Super Bowl because of this, and Chef Pee-Pee decides to take him to Mario and Rosalina to see what they should do. Rosalina gets the idea to see if her ex-boyfriend can help out, since he was a quarterback when they were in high school. Rosalina brings him in, and he turns out to be gorgeous, leaving Mario and Chef Pee-Pee in shock.
Mario, I have an ex-boyfriend that played football in high school as a freshman.
Why are you telling me this? I don't care.
Mario, he was a quarterback. He could play for Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
Everything looks good so far, but we find out that Dak's good looks and football jersey turn out to be completely superficial, as he turns out to be a god-awful football player, not even being able to throw to Mario from only a few feet away. They try to train Dak to play well, but he turns out to be a lost cause, and they don't get anywhere with him. Eventually, after practicing with other people, Tom Brady just wakes up and he's able to play instead. It's incredible that we've gotten this far on the list without mentioning Rose's most popular ex by far, that being Super D. He has appeared in several SML videos, with his first being an SML movie, Jeffy's 16th birthday. In this video, we see that it's Jeffy's 16th birthday, and he is begging to have a car for his birthday. Mario tries to beat around the bush and tell Jeffy that he can't afford to buy him a car, but eventually he tries to solve the problem by getting Jeffy a car, but the car he gets is terrible, causing Rosalina to be more irritated at Mario. This escalates even more when Mario throws Jeffy a crappy birthday party, with Jeffy and Rose not being impressed. Right on cue, after this happens, the doorbell rings and Rosalina answers the door and sees her ex, Super D. Super D comes into the house, making Mario jealous. And this problem only gets even worse when Super D shows off using his cake vision to fix the cake and getting a crazy looking Corvette with Jeffy's face plastered all over it.
What are you two again, friends?
Oh, we're married! Look at my ring!
Married? Alright, it's time to use my divorce vision.
Oh, no divorce vision. How about you use your leave vision and go away forever vision because we don't want to see you ever again.
Super D's nice guy facade falls apart quickly whenever he takes Jeffy for a ride, and they get pulled over and he leaves Jeffy to take the blame. Brooklyn Guy explains to Rosalina and Mario that Super D is a well-known supervillain, and that he shouldn't be around them anymore. This causes Jeffy to be able to humble himself after seeing how Super D treated him and apologized to Mario. Super D, throughout several SML videos, has had an obsession with Rosalina, trying as hard as he can to take her back from Marvin. We see this again in many different videos, like SML movie Jeffy's Christmas Gift, where Mario tries to get a Turbo Man toy for Christmas and lies about it, leading to Rose leaving him, causing Super D to try and win Rose back, until Mario makes up for his mistakes and dresses as Turbo Man, making Rosalina forgive him. Super D tries again in SML movie Jeffy's Big Idea, where he fakes a robbery and breaking and entering to make Mario look pathetic, causing Rose to leave him. Mario works hard to get her back by eating a mushroom to get bigger and stronger. This causes him to be able to defeat Super D when he forgets about consent and goes too far with Rosalina, stopping his chances to be with her again. He even tries to hypnotize Rosalina to fall in love with him in SML movie The Hypnosis Ray. So Rosalina has a thing for superheroes who are a little crazy, and that leads us to our next ex on the list, that being Super Big D, who made his first appearance in SML movie Jeffy's Crayons. In this episode, Rose plans on going to the store, and Jeffy needs more crayons, so she goes to the store and plans on getting some. When she gets to the store, she ends up getting kidnapped, and everything seems hopeless for Rose, until she's saved by her ex-boyfriend, Super Big D. Super Big D takes Rose home, and is able to meet Marvin and Jeffy, and Marvin hates him instantly, especially when he's going into excruciating detail about how much of a freak Rose is. Super Big D eventually leaves, and Mario finally decides it's time to file for a divorce from Rose, which honestly should have happened a long time ago, which, yeah, I gotta say, makes a lot of sense. Go down and subscribe right now if Marvin should have divorced Rose a long time ago. Anyways, this gets interrupted when Jeffy starts to choke on the crayons that he's been eating, leading Rose to call for help, which brings both Super D and Super Big D to the house. Rose wants both of the superheroes to save Jeffy, but instead, they get into an argument and then gets into a fight over who gets to be with Rose after they see the divorce papers on the couch. They fight and go back and forth, beating each other up, but it gets interrupted when for some reason they become strangely attached to each other.
Yeah, I can see that. You have really nice abs.
Thank you. You do too.
Thanks. You mind if I touch them?
Sure, if I can touch yours.
Oh, yeah, of course. Oh man, those are
nice.
Those are really.
What's going on?
Hold on, I'm feeling something here.
What are you feeling?
After they fight a little more, they wonder why they're even fighting over Rose and just decide to move on and hang out with each other and become more than friends afterwards, leaving Jeffy to choke, all until Brooklyn Guy comes and saves him from his choking. Super D and Super Big D eventually find their way back to Rose again as they team up to fight one final of Rose's superhero boyfriends, the one and only super huge long-lasting Big Girthy D. In SML movie The Avengers of D, we see Jeffy begin to annoy Marvin and Rose, but his antics are interrupted whenever the news comes on, showing Super D saving a woman from a burning building. While all this is happening on the news, the doorbell rings, and it's Super D and Super Big D at the door. They tell Marvin that Rose is in danger, and they come to protect Rose. They're too late, however, as super huge long-lasting Big Girthy D comes in, and he wants to take Rose back, but they end up losing to him, and he goes to try and find Rose, but he he doesn't find her and leaves.
Sam, he's one of my ex-boyfriends after Super D and Super Big D left me.
Why is he dressed like a Ninja Turtle and why is his tail on the front of his costume?
What tail?
It's a tail! Put it away!
After some totally expected filler from Marvin and Brooklyn Guy, we see Marvin, Super D, and Super Big D work together to make a plan to beat him, with Marvin becoming the leader after Rose calls him the best D she's ever had. Together with Mosquito Man, they fight back against Super Long fucking D, but they almost lose, until he looks inside Marvin's pants and is distracted by how tiny it is, leaving Marvin to knock him down, letting the Avengers of D defeat him, making that the last time he's ever been seen in SML. That's finally the end of Rose's superhero ex-boyfriends. But to finish off this list of her many exes, we have by far the strangest and, well, most illegal of Rose's flings. That being her relationship with Tyrese the chicken? In SML movie Jeffy's Easter eggs, we see that it's Easter and that Jeffy really wants to paint some eggs, and Marvin didn't get any for him. Marvin plans on getting more, but he's interrupted by the news talking about how chickens are on strike and that there's a nationwide egg shortage across the nation. Marvin goes back and forth trying to bring different options for Jeffy to paint instead of eggs, such as golf balls and baseballs, but nothing makes Jeffy happy. Marvin goes to Chef Pee-Pee asking for some eggs to help, but Chef Pee-Pee doesn't want to budge, with the only thing that he'll accept is if Marvin lets him go on a date with Rose. Marvin tells Rose about this idea, but Rose hates the idea of it and doesn't want to do it. Marvin then sees on the TV that there's an omelet competition where the winner gets some pre-painted eggs. Rose then suggests that Marvin just call a chicken to get the eggs instead, which he then does, calling a chicken to the front door, and Tyrese shows up. Marvin asks Tyrese what he can do to get some eggs, with Tyrese saying that he'll give him some eggs if he gets to go on a date with Rose. Rose agrees a little too quickly, and they go on a date. And Rose comes back a few hours later looking like she's had an incredible time.
What's taking their date so long?
Whoa, Mario!
Did you have fun on your date?
Yeah, she answered the age-old question. What came first, the chicken or your wife?
Marvin then takes these eggs to enter the omelet cooking contest, and he's able to win against Chef Pee-Pee and finally get the eggs, finally getting Jeffy to shut up. Well, I think I gave you another reason why Rose is one of the worst characters in SML. So make sure to go down and subscribe right now, or super long-lasting, big, huge, girthy D is gonna... Yeah, you better subscribe.